one wasn't as gruesome because it was just needles.
Yeah, he got needled, but he got crucified on a cross, which I was like, I don't know how I felt about it.
I was like, you're not Jesus. Calm down.
Yeah, Jesus was black.
Also, Jesus wasn't killing people.
Yeah, actually.
Hi, I'm Danielle.
And I'm Dell.
And this is the Black Catch-Up, where we're catching up on iconic black films we missed out on in our more conservative religious childhood.
Today, again, horror theme,
Yep.
We watched Tales of the Hood.
Yes, we did.
Yeah,
so
I guess,
IMDb.
Yeah, the IMDb review, or what is it, summary, I guess?
Yeah. A funeral director tells 4 strange tales of horror with an African American focus to 3 drug dealers he traps in his place of business.
Alright, so I guess as usual, we kind of start off with things we liked.
Yes. And there were, as we said, there were 4 stories that were told.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I guess you want to start, or?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I will say my favorite story was the second one with the kid and the monster, which was his mom's boyfriend or whoever that was.
Yeah.
I just felt as though that one was very chilling and raw, I guess, and like all of them were realistic. But it was just very chilling, especially when he held the paper and how you could feel it being.
Yeah, and you heard that growl.
Yeah,
in the
you feel the life of the paper.
Yeah.
It was very odd. I know when I read the Wikipedia, they were saying it's revealed to the audience that the person who's harming him is the mother's boyfriend. That wasn't a reveal
I don't
to
think
me.
it was revealed. I think it was just kind of assumed after a while.
Yeah, it was. To me, it was like, well, yeah, it's that guy.
Yeah,
I don't know who else.
I feel like the abusive boyfriend is kind of a common trope, I guess, in a sense.
So that one wasn't like a big surprise, as though the Wikipedia made it seem, but it still worked, because it's realistic. But I just really liked that, and just the voodoo paper of it all. I just like that.
Okay. Yeah, the first thing I listed was I kind of just like how in each of the stories someone was kind of just going crazy. I like seeing how people going crazy is portrayed on screen.
Yeah.
So in the first story that the ex-cop was going crazy.
Oh, that was another one.
And ended up in a home in a psych ward in a straitjacket. Again, the boy was kind of going crazy. That one almost powerful scene where you just see him sitting in his room you just see the tears as someone's banging on the door.
Yeah.
And this is I guess before they reveal the monster's just his stepdad or mom's boyfriend, whatever you call him. And then I guess the racist old guy also kind of went crazy. That moment where he looked at the painting and all the things were gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then even in that final act, who went crazy in that one? Oh yeah, the guy who they put in that chamber.
Yeah.
And had the sensory he was definitely going crazy. So I think those are just kind of the parts I liked. I just like seeing people go crazy on screen, and I liked how they did each of them differently.
Yeah.
And you can see those kind of differences in how they process these things, how they reacted, how they ended up going crazy. So I think I like that one a lot.
I did too. Going off of that, in the first story with the former cop who ends up in the psych ward, the Wikipedia mentioned that he didn't even mention the activist who helped him. So it kind of makes
which activist who helped him?
The activist who he was doing all of this for, I guess.
Oh, the dead guy?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
In the Wikipedia, it made it mention that he didn't say his name at all, and just he went that when the person, the doctor or whatever, was telling the nurse that story, they were like, oh yeah, he went crazy. He just killed his 3 cops. He was a former cop himself. There's no mention of him, so it kind of makes you wonder what part of the story was true. And I always like that when it's what did I just watch? What was true? What wasn't true? What was in their head? I love that.
So I guess almost going off that, I really liked the old crazy guy in the mortuary or whatever. I think he also really helped kind of foster that idea of everything I'm telling you is a true story, but I'm telling you it from the point of the person who experienced it. So I'm also throwing in the things they thought, the kid think he was a monster, or this dead guy coming up from the grave. So yes, I guess as the viewer, it is possible that the dead guy came up from the grave. It's a supernatural movie movie in general.
Yes.
But it's also possible the guy just went crazy and killed all three of
Yeah.
them. You know, so like I think in each of the stories it kind of leaves you with that like, oh, did this actually happen, or is this crazy guy just making it up?
Yes.
So I thought he played his role very well. Like he looked crazy during the movie.
Yeah.
That's like
he
part
was
of the role.
wonderful.
He
was
really
so
was.
good.
He really was.
He should have been on screen more.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
Not enough of him. And I guess my final thing going off of that was I liked him a lot, and I just love a good "we were in hell the whole time" situation.
Yeah.
I love
I like that too.
Where you were dead the whole time. I just love that.
Once they saw like the 3 caskets at the end, I was like, yes.
It was like the 3 caskets, and I was like, come on, guys, like there's no way,
Yeah.
like you're seeing caskets, that's you. And then it like shows up, and they're like, what? How could that be? How could that be? And then it like explains, you tried to kill him, but you didn't.
Yep.
But like you didn't get away. You're dead. You've been dead this whole time. You're in hell. I loved it.
Yeah.
So great.
The last thing I wrote down, I like seeing a black male teacher in like a elementary school type setting.
Oh.
Like I just really love that. Like I can probably count on one hand how many like black professors I've had, let alone like black male professors. You know, so I just like really appreciated seeing that on screen. Like. And he seemed to care because like he went to the kid's home.
He wasn't helpful.
Yeah, he wasn't helpful. Like he really just went there and got his ass beat. But I was like, all right, at least he showed up.
Yeah.
And like stayed there and came back in.
Yeah,
you know,
good
like,
for you.
I was like, good for you, but like you really took that to the chin for no reason. Like you walked in and he just continued.
He was almost like a distraction. I guess.
Yeah, you just like
good,
honestly, you just extended that ass whooping like 30 seconds. You know, like instead of just whooping like the mom and the kid, like you got your ass whooped too. So.
Yeah.
Good for you, but
You say that, and I was also thinking that while we were watching it, I was like, how many black teachers have I had? Like I know when I was younger, because we went to an elementary school that was like predominantly black. I had a lot then, but then afterwards, I'm like,
yeah.
Also, it doesn't help that I don't remember my teachers.
Yeah, I was like thinking like first grade. I mean, not first grade, like grade school. Did I have any? And I'm like,
I know I did.
I don't think so. I probably didn't if you didn't.
No, I did. We went to the same elementary school.
You.
Who were my black teachers in elementary school?
Yeah.
When we were at Celebration.
I wasn't there that long, though.
You were there till, like, first grade or something?
Yeah,
because I was there till 4.
It was barely count. That was, like, 3 years of kindergarten, you know?
That, I guess so.
It was literally, like, K3, K4,
But you still
K5.
had them?
Yeah, but I don't remember them. I do, because I guess we're still, like, family friends with a lot of them.
I don't remember their names.
But past that point...
I don't remember everyone's name.
I know I had one in college, but that's...
I can barely remember any of my professors. I would need to see like, not a registry.
No, yeah,
like
I would need to like go through yearbooks and like.
And be like, okay, who did I ever have?
But off the top of my head, I have very few I remember. You know.
Okay, and now we're going to things we didn't like.
Let's move on. Kind of got off on a little tangent there.
This is what happens in real life whenever we're talking.
Yeah, we're just kind of chatting, but
Okay.
All right.
Things we didn't like.
Yeah, things we didn't like. Problematic areas. I didn't have too much. The only thing I really like found problem with was that like not final scene, but the scene with him in that chamber thing, where they just were like showing pictures of like brutalized black bodies. Like, I understood why they had that there, but I just didn't like it. I didn't really want to see it. Like I feel like I see too much of that now, and just.
I feel as though that scene with the little conversion part that went on too long.
No, it really did.
Because it was like a good portion of
like,
the...
to a sense, for me at least, it almost took me out of the movie. Like, it almost felt like the movie was trying to make this statement. Like, above all else, like, ignoring the storyline, ignoring the everything, like, the movie was trying to make that statement.
And I was like, I
I
got it. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And then also I didn't like the strobing when he was in the cave. Because that went on for... Well, that one made a little more sense that it went on for longer, but it just still went on a little too long for me.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't keep looking at this because it's just flashing
it kind of
pictures.
was, like, it hurts.
It was very hard to look at.
You probably should have put that, like, epilepsy warning at the beginning of that or something.
Even the ones that you were talking about, like the...
Yeah, no, even that was, like,
that was also kind of flashy, too.
Yeah.
So not only was it, like, sensitive material that was hard to watch, but it also, like, hurt.
It was, like, physically hard to watch.
Like, it physically hurt to watch.
Yeah.
Because it was flashing so much. I should have taken my contacts out or my glasses or something.
Yeah, so
I was taking a break.
It might have helped a little bit. But,
I guess imagine me just in the middle of it, like, oh my gosh.
I gotta take my contacts
I
out.
can't see this
do
anymore.
I was gonna say, one more thing I kind of found problem with related to that scene in particular is I felt they really conflated like police brutality with white supremacy with like black on black crime.
Yes.
You know, like they kind of just treated all, you know,
Anytime
all crime
a black
against a black body as
is
the same. You know,
but it's not.
which there's a lot of different nuances involved in that. There's a lot of different circumstances. You know, and the idea that like they're showing this guy who like, you know, was involved in like presumably like gang violence.
Yeah.
You know, they're showing him like KKK imagery. Like,
and it's like
I don't think he really needs to see that. You know, like that doesn't.
That's not.
That doesn't serve him. You know, so
yeah.
by conflating all these different types of injustices, like I just felt like they kind of almost just like wanted to show these black bodies, wanted to show these graphic images. They didn't really like fully, not even like do the research, but just like fully care to really break it down in that sense, you know. So yeah, I found like a little bit of problem with that. And again, like that scene was so long, it was like you can't ignore it, you know.
Yeah.
And so yeah, so that was the only other thing I had with that part.
The only other thing that the only thing that I didn't like was the plantation story. I just don't like possessed dolls.
Mm-hmm.
I just have a problem with possessed dolls. I don't know what it is. And also because the animation on there was just on that border of being good to like kind of like walk the line of being good and bad.
Seemed like almost like claymation. Almost.
Yeah,
almost
claymation-y, not quite claymation-y, and that's just like a personal preference. The story itself was fine.
I was like, personally, claymation freaks me out. Like,
I
only like think of claymation in horror movies or like scary movies, and like the one I think of the biggest is like Wallace and Gromit. Isn't that a big claymation one?
Yeah.
I don't remember anything about what happened in that movie or like anything about it, but like just the fact that it's claymation freaks me out. So
I respect the art of claymation. I just do not prefer it.
Yeah, I guess you kind of have to respect the art of it because it takes so long.
You're like taking pictures for a long stretch of time.
It's ridiculous. But
like we think it's hard editing
it creeps
these,
me out.
but
it does creep me out.
But yeah, that was just like a little minor me thing that I don't like voodoo doll, like little dolls, possessed dolls. I don't like that.
Okay.
So now for our ratings.
Yeah, rating. Did I go first last time?
Yeah, I'll go first this time. So I thought, to be fair, I would go through every single story, rate it, and then average it to just like give me the best idea of a rating. And I came up with a 3 out of 5.
Okay.
So it was just pretty solid. The conversion therapy and the plantation ones were really what brought it down for me. Because as I said before, I don't like a possessed doll. And the conversion therapy one was just getting physically hard to watch. And also that one was a little confusing for me.
It was very confusing.
Yeah, I kind of couldn't follow who was who, and like for the longest time I thought the guy who got shot was the one who was going to conversion therapy. And then there was this whole thing. And also I feel as though the conversion therapy one was the one that broke the theme that I was really vibing with. And the theme that I saw at least from this was almost like revenge fantasy comeuppance stories where like someone who is in a position of power and like does harm to like someone who's disenfranchised kind of gets like what's coming to them with the cop killer, with the plantation politician, and like the kid with the beating stepfather, whoever that guy was. I felt as though that kind of felt like a solid story. And then the conversion one was the one that kind of like broke off of it. And I understand why, because it had to like be the through line from all these stories and the mortician saying we're in hell. But that doesn't mean I liked it.
I was gonna say, I thought the connection there was again, like the film is so focused on injustices against black people that like they had to, again, like because they're conflating all these things, like yes, the first couple ones were positions of power, but the last one's that gang violence one that they also tried to shoehorn in there, which is why I think like thematically it might not have fit as well,
because
you know?
When you think about it, gang violence isn't the same as all
like it's a totally different circumstances. Like the circumstances that lead to black on black crime are completely different than those that lead to like white supremacist crime or like police brutality. So you know, I definitely got that as well.
Okay. So when you say that, that makes sense that it's a theme, but like the theme that I was getting was revenge, and that was not revenge.
Yeah.
That was revenge on me. Like,
But so I also gave it a 3. For me, I actually liked this movie a lot. I think individually I liked all the stories, and again, like I like the idea of people going crazy on screen. So all of those movies are for me. The one thing that like I really wanted to give this a 3.5, but the one thing that kind of brought it down for me was I didn't think they did a good enough job of like connecting the stories explicitly. You know, like yes, we kind of came up with our connections here, which I guess is what they want you to do.
Yeah.
But again, like the connections I made were them conflating all these forms of violence and brutality against Black people, and like wasn't a fan of that storyline. I thought the guy in the mortuary should have done like it just seemed like he was telling random stories to these kids.
Yeah.
You know, and only the last one really had to do with them. You know, the other ones, again, like, yes, hurting Black bodies, things like that. But for those people, like, the three in there, that, like, I don't know if that was as relevant to them or the first couple stories were as relevant. So I just thought all the stories were a little disjointed. I liked them all separately for their own reasons. But together, I don't know, wasn't a huge fan of the point the movie was, like, trying to make.
Why wasn't this a TV show? This would have been a great TV show. Like, anthology series, like American Horror Story and stuff like that. Just keep making, like, these were about the length of a TV show.
Yeah, I assume it's not a TV show. I mean, it's not. I didn't check, but...
It's not. The sequel is a movie. But I feel as though they would have been better served to make it a TV show. And really kind of do something like that.
I could see that, yeah. And then maybe, like... I wouldn't feel as much of a need for them to connect all the stories.
Yeah, because I think with it being a movie, you were like, I want a full
like
connection.
I want like, oh, and this guy is from this story, and then this, you know, I wanted those connections, and I felt like I didn't get them till the end.
Yeah.
You know, and then also one last thing that kind of bothered me, I thought Welcome to Hell should have been the last movie close credits. Then they did that little like animated transform where he turns into the devil, and then they all burn up in flames, and they're like dancing around.
That didn't need to happen. Actually,
I was like, you should have ended it at like, this is hell, MF, you know, and then just end the movie. You know?
That would have been.
I thought that would have been the perfect ending.
That probably would have bumped it up to.
But then they had that little cartoony part at the end, and I was like, oh. And then they were like dancing around the fire, like literally just dancing in the fire.
Well, they were dancing in the fire because they were burning.
No, I know, but like the acting was them just dancing. And I was like, that's looks weird.
Also, when he had his like little snake tongue, we both were like, you don't.
I was like, yeah, y'all could have ended the movie yet again. Welcome to hell. This is hell. And then as the audience is going, black screen, credits start.
I would have even let you fade to black slowly.
Yeah, something like that. But that little like animation thing at the end,
wasn't.
It didn't do it for me, you know.
All right. Do you wish you'd seen this earlier?
Final question. This was a hard one for me to answer. I put down maybe, but I'll actually lean towards a yes on this one. And the main reason is because I got a lot of Get Out vibes watching this. So I imagine, I didn't look this up, but I imagine Jordan Peele might have watched this and gotten a lot of inspiration. You know, like even that sensory deprivation scene reminded me a lot of
Get Out.
You know, Get Out. Yeah, that's
you said 10 seconds
ago. The movie I just said. And then even the scene with the racist white guy, just like white people being racist in large homes. I don't know why that reminded me of Get Out. But like, I don't know, I just got like a couple Get Out vibes from there, and I'm like, I would have liked to have seen this before that movie, you know?
Yeah.
But, so I'll give this one a yes. I
didn't know we could say maybe. This one.
Yeah, no, that's why I said it as a solid yes at the end. Because I usually don't do maybes.
I don't know. I didn't think of this one. I'm going to say no, but possibly in college. Like, I would have, maybe a few years ago, I would have been fine. But for the most part, no. Like, if I feel as though I have, like, a little, like, 3-year gap where I would have been like, okay, if I would have seen it at any point in these three, like, since 2017 on, if I'd seen it, that would have been fine. But not earlier than that, but also I'm fine having seen it now. Okay. So I think in the end, that is a no.
It sounds kind of like a no, but...
It sounds like a no, but who knows?
Yeah, you're fine with when you saw it now.
Yeah, I'm fine with when I saw it now, but I wouldn't have been mad if I'd seen it up to 3 years earlier.
Yeah, me just like, right before I saw Get Out, I would have wanted to see this one, but...
So right before you buy your ticket to Get Out, you're like, and here we go.
Get Out comes tomorrow, let me watch Tales from the Hood, you know?
Alright.
But, the video's getting kind of long, so, you know, YouTube housekeeping, like, comment, subscribe.
Ring the bell. Also... What do I normally say? Also, send us suggestions. If you have any other movies you want us to watch, we do movie reviews Tuesdays and Fridays, and on Sundays we do TV shows and music. And all of our socials will be linked in the description below, and we'll see you next time to catch up. Bye.
rusty towards the end.
Towards the end, I forgot everything I normally say.
This is a long video too. We also got off topic more than usual.
We got off topic more than usual. Now people know what it's like when we're just talking.
Yeah, they're gonna get a real taste.
Because we're just like, no, and this happened. I don't know any of my teachers.
Just going